We are Black Horse. We are Minnesota.
It's a perfect night for baseball at Target Field, the opening game of a 6-game homestand and a 3-game series with the Cleveland Indians, who are hanging in there. They're just 3.5 games back in the American League Central, coming off an impressive series against the front-running Detroit Tigers. The Twins are starting a 6-game homestand, hoping to get some traction and put together a good final 9 weeks of the season. Joe Mauer heading away for the Twins. He's in the batting race again, hoping to have a good series against the Cleveland Indians. And welcome to Target Field. I'm Dick Bramer. Where have you been?
My name is Bert Blyleven. Glad to meet you.
Good to have you back on Twins television. And the Twins have not had much go right this year in their starting rotation. And the only thing that has gone right has been the emergence of Scott Diamond.
Yeah, Scott Diamond starting tonight against the Indians, who he has had some success against in 14 starts, 8-4, and 5 of those 8 wins coming here at Target Field in 7 starts. Diamond is all about changing speeds, utilizing that fastball to both sides of the plate, and you can see his numbers there here at Target Field. Very good 2.72 ERA in 7 starts. And by the way, in Cleveland earlier this year, he beat the Cleveland Indians when he pitched 7 very good innings.
Well, over the course of the last road trip, the Twins sorely missed Trevor Plouffe. They were hopeful of getting him back in the lineup tonight. In fact, he was in the original starting lineup, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah, Trevor Plouffe came in yesterday and hit off a tee and said that right thumb area was okay, but that's the pitch right there against Luke Hochevar in that Kansas City series that kind of put him on the shelf for a while. Twins were hoping that he would be back in the lineup, as Trevor did, but to no avail. Here in batting practice, he still felt the soreness in that right thumb area, and he ended up coming out of the ball game.
And he's been put on the disabled list. Danny Valencia is on his way here. Plouffe heading back to the clubhouse after a batting practice. Jamie Carroll, who's been playing at third base for most of the last week, will get that start again here tonight. And again, Danny Valencia called up. He'll be here ready to go tomorrow. So the Twins and Indians get things started. Joe Mauer, Josh Willingham hoping to get the bats going and hope that the Twins can put together a winning homestand. is brought to you by your local Northland Ford dealers. Visit your local Northland Ford dealer or go to northlandford.com. By Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. By Budweiser, official beer of the thirst inning. Great times are on deck. Grab some Buds. And by the new summer barbecue menu at Burger King. Let's have a barbecue today.
Fans filing in. The Twins welcome the Indians for a 3-game set at Target Field this weekend. We welcome back number 28, Bert Blyleven, to the broadcast booth. If you follow Bert on Twitter at Bert Blyleven28, you saw some great snippets from last weekend's journey back to Cooperstown for the Baseball Hall of Fame ceremony. Of course, we welcome Bert to the broadcast tonight and back to Twins baseball. But Bert, for all of us that maybe didn't see all those photos, what was the experience going back a year later after being inducted into baseball's Hall of Fame?
Oh, Kevin, last year was such an exciting moment for my wife Gail and I that, you know what, we had a chance this year just to relax and take some pictures of some great Hall of Famers. Gaylord Perry right there, a great competitor. I pitched with him with the Texas Rangers. And then you move on to one of the classiest guys you'd ever meet, and that being Lou Brock. These were all on my Twitter account at BurtBly1128. Ricky Henderson, how about that? He loved standing behind the Babe and Ted Williams. My goodness, what a pose right there. And then Charlie Sheen came into town to honor Barry Larkin, a big Cincinnati Red fan. So my wife Gail and I had a chance to take a picture with Charlie Sheen. And then we really like this picture because it's the Hall of Fame poster behind us. We had a lot of fun. A very relaxing time, Kevin, and I'm already looking forward to next year.
Congratulations again, and we're happy to have you back to watch the Twins take on the Indians. The ball gets handed to this guy, Scott Diamond. He leads the staff with an 8-4 record. Twins and the Tribe next on Fox Sports North.
And their de facto ace to the mound, Scott Diamond, for the opening game of this series with the Cleveland Indians. Diamond has won his last 2 starts here at Target Field. There's Manny Acta, who had kind of a pivotal series with the Detroit Tigers. They just completed taking 2 out of 3 from the Detroit Tigers. And the Indians' Menards batting order has Shin-Soo Choo on top, has Drupal Cabrera second, Jason Kipnis, Michael Brantley, Carlos Santana, Travis Hafner, Jose Lopez, Shelley Duncan, and Lou Marson.
I think the biggest thing that Acta's trying to do is trying to get some offense into a lineup that has really struggled against left-handers. And Scott Diamond, as I mentioned, 7 innings earlier in a start in Progressive Field against the Indians. 3 runs allowed, all unearned runs for Scott Diamond. But, you know, left-handers, a lot of left-handers in that Indian lineup, Dick, and they're hitting only .223 against left-handed pitchers.
Northland Ford defense for the Minnesota Twins. Josh Willingham in left, and Art Span, Ben Revere join him in the outfield. Trevor Plouffe was in the original lineup at third base. Now Jamie Carroll with Dozier and Casilla up the middle. Morneau at first, Maurer behind the plate. Carroll, who was signed by the Twins as a middle infielder, now has seen a lot of time at third base with Plouffe suffering the thumb injury. Rehabbed it a little bit yesterday, came out, took some swings, thought he was ready to go. The bottom line for Alexi Casilla, another opportunity for him to get some at-bats and play second base.
Well, there's Trevor Fleck right now put on a disabled. Danny Valencia will be joining, Trevor Plouffe, will be joining the club tomorrow.
Scott Diamond ready to go. So is Shin-Soo Choo. And ball 1 to Choo. Diamond won the ball game, even though he gave up 5 earned runs in 6 innings against the Orioles here, and then a better game his prior start against the Royals here at Target Field. 8 innings and just 2 earned runs. 2-0. Mentioned in the pregame show that the Twins, before the All-Star break and then afterwards, allowed Diamond a little extra time. Bouncer to second on a 2-0 pitch. Diamond retires Choo, 1 away.
Let's take a look at the GMC keys to the game for Scott Diamond. Stay away from the multi-run inning. Stay away from the big inning, the 3-4 runs in 1 inning, and continue to pitch inside to both right-handers and left-handers. So Scott Diamond has shown very good control. 91 innings pitched so far this year, only 13 walks.
Asdrubal Cabrera hitting second for the Cleveland Indians. To center and hit fairly well. Span back on the track, out number 2. So 4 pitches into his night. Scott Diamond's got a couple of outs. My goodness, after the weather the Twins have had in Kansas City and Chicago, just gorgeous weather. 77 degrees, supposed to be a touch warmer tomorrow, and then Sunday afternoon again a little warmer, but much more moderate temperatures than what we've had here and pretty much all over the country.
Yeah, beautiful weather here to watch a ball game. And you mentioned, Dick, only 4 pitchers for Scott Diamond. That's what starters need to do. Attack early, hopefully keep that pitch count down to about 30 or 40 in the first 4 innings, if you can do that. And Diamond is a strike thrower.
And he throws strike 1 to Jason Kipnis.
That's why I think, 12 of the 14 starts has been able to go at least 6 innings or more, because he does attack the strike zone right off the get-go.
Off the corner, and it's 1-1.
This guy's been kind of a spark plug for the Cleveland Indians, Jason Kipnis. Only in his 2nd season, his first full year, and he's made quite an impression to Manny Acta and the Cleveland Indian Ball Club. This guy has really signed as an outfielder, turned into a second baseman. He's put us some very good numbers.
Fly ball to left field. A nice tidy 7-pitch 1-2-3 first inning for Scott Diamond. Span comes out onto the on-deck circle. And Ron Gardenhire with a winning mark against the Indians, as he does against everybody in the American League Central. His Menards batting order, again, there was the change involving Trevor Plouffe. But here's the official lineup. Span, Revere, and Mauer, Willingham, Morneau, and Domet, Dozier, Carroll, and Casilla.
And for the second time this year, the Twins will be facing Jock Tomlin. Tomlin making his 16th start of the year, looking for his 6th win. A 12-game winner last year for the Indians in 26 starts. This is one guy that I believe that the Indians are looking to really get better as the season goes on. They need him to stay in that race and to be consistent.
And he'll face 3 left-handed batters out of the chute. Span, Revere, and Mauer. Span takes a strike.
Like Scott Diamond, Tomlin a strike thrower, 20 walks in 91 innings.
Pulled foul.
Watch out, Jerry White.
Did that hit him?
I think he just kind of twisted his knee trying to get out of the way.
I thought checking the flight of the ball that the ball missed him, but he's a little uncomfortable with something there. 2 strikes to Span.
Well, how'd you like a ball coming at you 100 miles an hour? You'd feel uncomfortable too.
That drifts outside, 1-2. Well, good to have you back, partner.
Thank you. Good to be back.
Enjoyed your time off. I'm sure enjoyed your time at Cooperstown.
I sure did. You see the wrist right there. There's something that he had problems with and put him on a disable as Tomlin kind of shaking that wrist a little bit. Outstanding changeup. The last 2 pitches with changeups. Him mixing a fastball, not an overpowering fastball. I said he and Diamond kind of the same type of pitchers, except Tomlin a right-hander, Diamond a left-hander. They kind of rely on changing speeds.
Two and 2. Tomlin does that, jiggling his hand so that there can't be any perception that he's changing his grip from a breaking ball to change up fastball.
But you do that for 5 or 6 innings. That's a lot of pressure on that elbow. I don't want that type of movement right there. I want him relaxed a little bit.
Pulled foul, and
Watch
they
out.
scatter in front of the Twins dugout.
All right, Domet says he's all right.
2 and 2 to Span. That's to left center field. Cabrera retreating, and that ball's going to drop. Well, Cabrera didn't exactly sprint after that. And Duncan couldn't get there in time, so it's a bloop single for Span.
Kind of landed in no man's land right there. Kind of a, not a hardy swing, but watch Span right here. Just kind of got underneath that ball, but it just fell in the right spot. Cabrera goes back, and I believe he thought that Duncan was going to come in and catch that ball. And the ball fell in. Twins get a break.
Span sees 7 pitches, ends up flaring a single to left. Here's Ben Revere. And Revere squares and takes strike 1. One thing that Tomlin does very, very well is he holds runners. The Twins have some speed with Span and Revere in the first 2 spots. But in his major league career, 329 and a third innings, Tomlin has only given up 3 stolen bases
in 8 attempts, so clubs do not try to run against him, or they cannot. He utilizes that slide step. So far, only 1 stolen base has been successful. A couple throwovers, Span gets back. Bernard Span with 9 stolen bases in 15 attempts.
So we've seen a pretty good move to first, but you also saw no pickoffs. What that suggests to me is he's very quick to the plate, hardly lifts his front leg at all. This one laced to left center field, but Duncan is there to make the catch, and Span will retreat. The injustice of baseball. Span hits a little flip to short left, gets a base hit. Revere hits it on the button for an out. Here's Shelley, Duncan, Brantley, and Chu, the outfielders on the Northland Ford defense. Lopez, Cabrera, Kipnis, Santana, the infielders, and Marson behind the plate. That'll bring up Mauer. Mauer with real good numbers against Tomlin, 4 for 9. A couple of runs batted in.
Yeah, not a lot of at-bats against Josh Tomlin. The Twins have against him, making just his 5th career start against the Twins.
Slow breaking pitch over for a strike.
Tomlin, 27 years old, signed by the Indians in 2006. He's out of Texas Tech University.
One strike to the Twins catcher. And now 2 strikes.
I think, Dick, it's not only holding runners on, it's when you come set. It just doesn't come set and throw, come set and throw. You kind of will pause a little bit, let that runner kind of freeze. And that's what, take a look at Span right here as Tomlin does throw over. Span diving back.
The 4th throw over since Span's single. I want to ask you about something because you're a right-handed pitcher. Tomlin does something as he goes into the stretch with his front leg, and he brings his hands down very slowly, and watch his front leg when he gets his glove right around face level. That little rock right there. Now he can do that until it's determined that he's in the set position, right? He can move his leg, but it almost looks like he's picking up that leg to either go home or throw to first.
Well, you see how he kind of spreads apart to feel comfortable on the mound. If he has to step off right now, he can. Pretty balanced. If he had to move that right foot behind the rubber in case Span took off. Now you can see the little bit of movement.
And Mauer lines a single to left center. Span round second. He'll dig for third. And the Twins have runners at first and third with only 1 out.
And Joe Mauer continues to hit. Good base running by Denard. Span noticing where this ball was hit, and it was Shelley Duncan, a right-handed thrower that had to go over to left center and retrieve this ball. See Brantley coming over, but it's Duncan that gets the ball back in, and Span scoots to third base.
Here's Willingham. Josh had both some peaks and valleys in Chicago. Hit 2 home runs in the middle game and wrapped into some critical double plays early in games 1 and 3 in Chicago. Ball 1 to Willingham.
Well, Tomlin this year in 15 starts has had 12 double plays turned behind him. That's what the defense is looking for, a ground ball.
I just wonder, and I don't know whether an umpire would consider that a potential balk. Tomlin's not been called for a balk.
Well, as long as your hands are still moving.
But it's almost imperceptible how far his hands travel after he makes that little rocking motion.
Well, watch. His hands are still coming down.
Are they?
And there.
See,
I mean, he comes set. You don't have to come set at your belt.
Right.
You can come set wherever you want. Remember, Louis Tion used to do the old roll and roll, and he was hard to run against because you never really knew when he came to a set position.
Then the key is now you have to hold that position for a full second, right?
Yeah, let's take a look right here. I mean, Tomlin, looking for the sign with the ball in his right hand. Now he comes set, And he can now, right there, okay? That's a split second. I was even quicker than that.
I know. It changed the rule because of you.
That's all you need to do is you cannot deceive the base runner at first base. And no way is he quick pitching. He's coming set. He does bring that glove down a little bit, makes a little movement, and then for that split second, then he throws home.
Big pitch here, 2-2 to Willingham with 2 men aboard, and the Twins trying to score first. Half swing, but he went. And Willingham is out on strikes, out number 2.
Well, the quick slider right there by Tomlin picks up a strikeout, his 52nd in 92 innings pitched. And did he go?
Yep.
And see, the barrel of the bat just went over the front of the plate. So Tomlin picks up a big strikeout. Second out of the inning.
Now Morneau. First and third, 2 down. Bounced up the line, 5. Chance to spend his day off yesterday with his new baby boy.
Yeah, little Martin. Congratulations to the Morneaus.
1 strike to the Twins' first baseman. There it goes. 3-0. On a tape measure shot off the bat of Morneau.
Home run number 12 on the year for Justin Morneau. And the Twins put a big 3 runs on the board in the bottom of the first inning. For Justin, his 12th home run, his 3rd hit here at Target Field. Good to see.
There haven't been many no-doubters for Justin in this ballpark, but that was a no-doubter.
That sure was. Look, watch the swing right there. Boy, the barrel of the bat caught up to that quickly, and that ball hit a long way.
So Tomlin, who got Willingham for a potentially huge second out of the inning, gives up a 3-run blast by Morneau. And Doma takes outside, ball 1.
The 15th home run in now 17 starts for Tomlin, who's allowed a home run.
And outside again, 2-0.
That home run measured at 421 feet.
Short center field. Kipnis wants it, and that ends the inning. A pair of singles and a big home run by Justin Morneau. The Twins have a 3-0 lead.
For the second, I'm joined by our analyst, Roy Smalley, and you can hear from him all night long. We want to bring you into the conversation. You can tweet Roy your favorite Twins question. Include the hashtag #AskSmalley. A lot going on, Roy, with the injury to Trevor Plouffe, Danny Valencia coming back, and Scott Diamond pitching tonight. A lot of Twins talkers throughout the weekend that you can answer tonight via Twitter.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, and there's a lot of stuff that will go on in this game. We're looking forward to hearing from what you fans want to know about, so I'll be anxious to talk with you.
I'd like to know how Roy knew today in the media dining hall that Justin Morneau was going to home run. He told me about 2 hours ago, and sure enough, 2 pitches into his at-bat, guys, Roy Smalley, once again, the smartest man in the room with a 3-run home run and a lot of points for Pick the Stick.
Very nice.
Morneau's 3-run home run, giving Scott Diamond an early lead. 1 strike to Michael Brantley, and now 1 to the backstop, evens the count at 1-1.
Well, remember we were talking about the GMC keys to the game. Put some zeros on the board. Let your offense put some runs on the board. And that's what Diamond was able to do. In 7 pitches in that first inning, retire the Indians in order. The Twins came back and gave them some early run support.
It's happened in reverse so often. It's nice to see the Twins put a 3 spot up in the first inning and have their starter have a nice, quick first inning on the mound. 2-1. Chopper right side. Morneau gloves it. Diamond running to the bag. Gets there. 1 away.
Well, your responsibility as a pitcher when that ball is hit to the right side is to bust your tail end and get over there. And, you know, as a left-handed pitcher, sometimes lefties, you fall off toward third base. Justin making sure he plays that hop, comes back, and there's Diamond right there. Good. What you want right here as a pitcher, get that ball to him as quick as possible so Diamond can catch the ball and then find the bag. So a nice speed right there by Justin over to Diamond.
Now you saw Brantley get down the line pretty well. He runs pretty well. But I think one thing we saw there too, Bert, Diamond, because of his delivery and how he follows through so well as a left-handed batter, should be a little bit easier for him to get over and cover first rather than someone who falls off toward the third base dugout. I mean, when Diamond finishes his delivery, he's right on the front of the mound.
What you always look for, I do, from the center field camera is the number of that pitcher. You want to see the back, and we're showing you Liriano because how he, you know, falls off toward third base. But that number of Diamond, I want to see that number right there bend the back. You see it right there. I don't really want to see the number after he releases the ball. That means you're standing straight up. Diamond does a great job of getting over the ball and then allow his arm to come through nicely. Very smooth delivery, and I think this is why this young man right here is very consistent with all his pitches. Works both sides of the plate well.
It just seems like his weight shift is back and forth, you know, towards second base and then towards home plate with very little sideways motion.
And that's what you want. You want to find that balance point and then get over that landing leg. And Diamond does a good job of that. He also picks up his first strikeout of getting Santana on a called third strike. Again, watch Diamond land on that leg and then straight over the top.
With a
nice
pinpoint fastball. Wow. 2 down in the second. Here's Travis Hafner. And a breaking ball misses.
All that delivery is just somebody trying to stay within themselves, not trying to overthrow. It's like a hitter maybe trying too hard to hit the ball too far. When hitters are relaxed, and Roy Smalley can talk about that, boy, sometimes the ball just jumps off your bat.
2-0. Hafner's had some right knee problems this year. The Indians are really hoping that he can more than hold his own against left-handers, and he's having a tough time doing that. He's one of the reasons Manny Acta has seen his team really struggle against left-handed pitchers. And Diamond misses outside, 3-0.
Yeah, it's a ball club that could really throw all left-handers at a right-handed pitcher, but with the left-hander out there and Diamond, you know, 6 of the 9 hitters, and 2 of them are switch hitters, are left-handed hitters.
Fastball on a strike. Yeah, they got a lineup, a batting order that's too left-handed, and a pitching staff that isn't left-handed enough.
Well, you can see against lefties hitting only .223, against right-handers a lot better. Third best in the American League.
3-1. Indians don't have a left-handed starter, and they only have one left-handed reliever.
Tony Sipp.
Fouled back. Sipp has had a disappointing year. So it's a team with flaws, but the division is a division that's flawed. And so the Indians have been able to hang in there, and they're coming off an impressive series against the Tigers when they took 2 out of 3, and they beat Justin Verlander last night. Came back with a 4-run seventh after Verlander had a lead late in the game. So this has been a fun team for the Cleveland baseball fans, and Diamond comes back from 3-0 to strike out Hafner looking. Fair, a 1-2-3 innings for the Twins lefty. Brian Dozier leading off the Twins second, with the Twins up 3-0. Dozier takes outside. 2 pretty quick innings so far for Scott Diamond. Bounce to third toward the hole. Cabrera from his knees has no chance, and Dozier's aboard with an infield hit. Well, the much rumored trade sending Zach Greinke out of Milwaukee finally has happened. And he is traded to the Angels for 3 prospects. Greinke will join a rotation that has really struggled. Everyone not named Jared Weaver has really had a tough time.
Yeah, C.J. Wilson has struggled a bit, Santana, and you look at Greinke. I mean, my goodness, what a trade for the Angels to try to stay in that race. There are 5 games coming into today's play behind the Texas Rangers, and I think a very good move for the Angels getting Greinke.
Here's Jamie Carroll. He takes a fastball down the middle, strike 1. The interesting thing now is what will the Rangers do to respond?
Yeah, Greinke scheduled to start on Sunday for the Angels. There they are, 5 games behind the American League Western Division leaders, Texas Rangers. How about Oakland A's? My goodness, they have quite a run. They've lost a couple ball games now, but they were on quite a run, getting back in that race.
If the season were to end today, they'd be the second wild card team. There'd be 2 teams from the West. Now Carroll clipped by the pitch, and Tomlin has worked himself into another jam.
That's that big curveball that we saw Tomlin drop on Mauer in that first inning. But watch Carroll right here. He was thinking about getting out of the way, and then he kind of took one for the team. Just kind of put that shoulder in. Shades of Cesar Tovar. The Tovar going to keep that elbow in. Hey, I'll take one off the elbow to get to first base.
Now you can't just stand there like a statue. You have to make some effort looked to get out of the way. And Carroll turned, but he never really withdrew his front arm at all. You just turn and still leave it out there, as Tovar used to do.
Yeah, it's not going to leave a mark when you get on first base. So look for maybe Casilla right here to bunt, as the Indians are looking for the bunt from Casilla. Third baseman Lopez in on the grass, as Santana will be here in a second.
Casilla takes a strike. Twins are out here early today, some of them working on bunting. And this is a situation where Casilla, who hasn't hit well at all since given the extra playing time, got to get the job done.
You have to get the job done right here. Just bunt that ball to Lopez at third base. Make him come in, feel the ball. That way Dozier can just walk to third base.
2 strikes, and I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't just go ahead and slap the bunt on.
You have to me, do it again. Kind of jabbed at this ball, and this is not Alexi Casilla at his best right here. He's usually pretty good as far as bunting the ball, gets the barrel of the bat out, and then kind of jabbed at the ball rather than just kind of laying that bat into the ball slowly, softly.
Indians playing the corner infielders back now. Casilla takes the ball.
No sign of bunt there by Casilla. Casilla hitting just 192 as a left-handed hitter, 222 overall.
Pop up, backing out of play. Now,
those are things, Dick, that really upset a manager. When you have a guy like Alexi Casilla, that's his game, is to do the little things right to stay at the major league level. That first pitch that he took looked like a fastball cookie right down the middle that he took for a strike, and then he jabbed at a high fastball, and now, you know, now the pitcher has the advantage here.
1-2. A fly ball to left. Duncan should catch it.
A bad at bat right there by Casilla.
Span will hit with 2 on and 1 out. Casilla wasn't supposed to play today. Trevor Plouffe was. He was scratched from the lineup and is now been put on the disabled list yesterday. Anthony Swarzak was put on the disabled list. He's got a rotator cuff strain. And so the Twins dip into their AAA level again to pick up yet another relief pitcher. Here's Span. And a swing and a miss. Span hit a little pop-up to the left field that drop. Luis Perdomo has been called up now to be put on the active roster.
Yeah, Perdomo started this season in Double-A, moved up to Triple-A, and he's got pretty good numbers in the minor leagues. So getting a chance to hopefully get into the ball game in about a week, because all the starters are going to go 9.
You have been away a long time. There's a drive to center field, and Brantley comes in to make a catch. So Span hits a liner to center, 2 away. And that'll bring up Revere. Coming up tomorrow on Fox Saturday Baseball, it's the Red Sox and the Yankees. Fox Saturday Baseball, presented by Budweiser, begins at 2:30 Central, only on Fox. Well, the Twins got a big 2-out hit in the first inning. Morneau's 3-run home run. Now they'll need one here in the second. Just everything changes. You don't get the bunt down, you get a chance to get a base hit, make it a 5-0 ball game. Now Revere needs to come through here to pick up Alexi Casilla. Strike 1.
Well, that's one area that in that Chicago series when they were swept by the White Sox, they had plenty of opportunity to score more runs, but they did not hit very well with runners in scoring position.
1 strike to Revere. And now 2 strikes.
Good change up there by Tomlin.
Tomlin trying to wriggle out of a second inning jam. He could not get himself out of the first inning jam thanks to the Morneau home run. And Revere flips it foul. Revere's average slowly trickling down now into the low 300s. It was in the 320s not that long ago.
Still a guy that Joe Vavra and the Twins, Ron Gardenhire, they want to see him hit line drives through the infield.
2 strikes. That was going to be the second point that I brought up, that Revere's average has slowly come down, even though he really hasn't hit the ball well for the last couple of weeks. His speed, as much as anything else, has allowed him to keep his batting average above 300.
As long as he keeps beating that ball into the ground and utilizing that speed, what he did in that first at bat, a fly ball to left field, that's not Ben Revere at his best. More of a line drive type hitter, keep the ball somewhere down, but right there he strikes out. Tomlin gets out of the inning.
Twins leave a pair on. It's still 3-0. Players named to short code 234-234. Fans love 3-run home runs.
And so do starting pitchers.
Scott Diamond says, you know, you can have all of my votes if you hit a 3-run home run, and maybe go ahead and hit another one. Diamond, in his own rights, had a pretty good start here. 6 up, 6 down. A couple of strikeouts. He'll face the bottom third of the Cleveland lineup, starting with Jose Lopez.
Yeah, Lopez in his first season with the Indians. He was an all-star in the American League for the Seattle Mariners back in 2006. Career .260 hitter. Came up with the Mariners in 2002.
Bouncer, foul. 1-1. Lopez, Duncan, and Marson facing Diamond here in the third inning. Tapper to third, just wide of the bag. Tim Cheetah, the third base umpire, saw the ball land in foul territory near the bag.
There's Tim Cheetah, the crew chief here.
Working the seeds. Another Twin Cities native, Jeff Nelson, behind the plate. 1-2. And a third and strikeout for Diamond. 3 in a row. 1 away in the third inning.
Yeah, Diamond picking up his third strikeout, and tomorrow I'm going to be at Village Chevrolet in Wayzata from 11 to noon, signing some autographs on behalf of 1500 ESPN and the Minnesota Twins. So come on out, Dick. I'll give you an autograph.
You can give me a deal on a Chevy.
Good. I could work on that. I'll give you one free if you show up tomorrow. I have no authority to do that, but I'd be more than happy to give you a free vehicle.
Okay. All right. You know, and these things don't go away.
Well, see, I may not be making this appearance after that.
You know, what you say on the air doesn't just disappear anymore. It's out there forever.
That's right.
Dozier flips to first, 2 down. White Sox got out to a quick start, but against Chris Sale in Texas, if you hit the ball to that direction, it may go, and it did for Nelson Cruz.
There's that channel right there.
And so Texas leading Sale and the White Sox now 4-3. 2 down in the third. Here's Lou Marson. What time are you going to be?
11-12. Come on over.
Okay.
You did say a new one, didn't you?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Ball
I'm sure we can find one in the back lot.
Some lemon yellow.
It's like a more Dutch orange.
Oh, okay. All right. 1-0 to Marson, and there's a strike. Talked with Diamond after his last start, and the numbers weren't good. He gave up 10 hits, 4 runs, 6 innings. Didn't give up any home runs, walked 2, struck out 2, and took the loss. But he said, you know, I felt like I hit my spots. It was one of those games, as the 10 hits might suggest, a couple of, 2 hoppers this way and that way, and you got to, as a pitcher, I would imagine, say, you know what, I hit my spots. It just wasn't my night. And Diamond kind of explained that game away to me that way. 1-2, and now inside 2-2.
You know, you go out there as a pitcher, and all you could try to do is not overthrow, stay within yourself, and if the ball is hit, sometimes it's hit right at the shortstop. Another night it might be 4 or 5 feet to his left or right, hit sharply, and the ball gets through. And I think that's what Scott Diamond went through in that series in Kansas City.
Fly ball to right. Revere's under it.
Can't do any better than he's been.
Perfect first 3 innings for Scott Diamond. Twins leading 3-0. Joe Mauer will lead off the bottom of the inning. Orthopedics and sports medicine for the everyday competitor in all of us. By CenturyLink, a different kind of communications company. CenturyLink, your link to what's next. And by Grand Casino, the best stories start here. Gorgeous night for baseball. Perfect night for baseball, and Scott Diamond has had 3 perfect innings. And he's got a 3-0 lead. Thanks to a Justin Morneau home run. I want to wish a happy 77th birthday to Don Johnson. No, not that one. The one from Eden Prairie, who's been a lifelong Twins fan. which I guess, given the fact he's 77, he's probably a big baseball fan before the Twins even came. Anyway, happy birthday.
Yes, happy birthday, Mr. Johnson.
1 strike to Mauer. See if it goes to 2 strikes, because I think I'm beginning to figure Joe Mauer out. Well, he taps it to the right side. In his first at bat, he took 2 pitches and then just waited to even the count, lined a base hit, and it was just kind of the typical Mauer at bat. He's retired here 1 down. Remember, every Saturday you have the chance to help many local nonprofits and maybe leave as a winner of thousands of dollars. The Split the Pot raffle is at every Saturday home game in 2012, and proceeds benefit the Twins Community Fund and many other local charities. Call 833-TWINS. Visit twinsbaseball.com. Get your tickets for tomorrow night's game against the Indians. Willingham with a big swing and a miss. 1 strike. Willingham on a check swing, struck out with 2 men aboard. Morneau picked him up with a long home run to right. Laced to center. Brantley makes the catch. Willingham pasted one to center field for out number 2. That'll bring up Justin Morneau, who hit a big one with 2 men aboard.
Boy, this is a guy that the Twins want to see finish strong right there. A fastball left up by Tomlin, and Justin did not miss it. 421-foot 3-run home run.
Coors Light cold, hard blast onto the plaza. Tattoos that one. A wicked line drive to center. He's taken 2 swings and absolutely blistered 2 balls.
He hit that ball so hard that our view looked like it was going to go to right center, and it veered back over to center field. Right off the end of the bat, but the strength of Justin hitting that ball sharply again. Look at Brantley. He was going over to right center. The ball came back.
And now Domet, who hit a little pop fly to short center, gloved by Kipnis, to wrap up the first inning. Looked like a changeup over for strike 1.
Well, Tomlin throwing strikes, 46 pitches, 35 strikes. Has given up 5 hits to the Twins in 2 2/3 innings.
Inside 1-1. Tomlin had a terrible month of June. Won a couple of ball games, but had an ERA of just under 7. He was coming back from a weird injury. He had a strained tendon in his wrist. And when we were in Cleveland earlier this year, the Indians said that the ball hit pretty well to left field. Retreating is Duncan, and he makes a catch on the warning track. He injured his wrist by gripping the ball too tightly in the rain one night. On to the 4th, it's 3-0.
Use the hashtag #AskSmalley. Some of the topics du jour, Diamond's emergence, some of the surprise players this year. We've got a question from Brock Rock, who likes to know, Roy, is there any former Major League Baseball players that Diamond reminds you of as a pitcher?
Yeah, you know who I think he reminds me of an awful lot is a terrific Baltimore left-hander, Mike Flanagan. Pitched all during my career. Not so much his delivery, but the way he pitches. 4 pitches, throws them for strikes, keeps coming at you, stays out of the middle of the zone. Flanagan was the same type of pitcher with similar kind of stuff and was very successful for a long time.
Dick and Bert, that'd be a nice model for the Twins for years to come. This guy could evolve into a pretty nice ace. Flanagan won 20 games more than once.
Yeah, he sure did. He was a great left-handed pitcher for the Baltimore Orioles, and a guy that Roy was talking about, not only good control of the fastball, also very good breaking ball. He could throw over at any time.
Shin-Soo Choo, 2 quick strikes. Diamond fell behind him 2-0 and got him on a ground ball to Casilla to start the ball game. Just off the corner.
Not missing by much, and that's what you want to do. Try to make that plate expand a little bit and see what that home plate umpire, that being Jeff Nelson, what he will give you or what he won't give you. Muchmauer sitting away, and a ball a little low.
Another ground ball to second. Waist high hop for Casilla, 1 away. Well, let's ask Scott Diamond who his delivery reminds him of.
I remember watching a lot of video of Jimmy Key when he was with the Jays, and then as I got older into the late 90s and was really interested in baseball, I started watching a lot of Andy Pettitte, and even lately, as I've been coming through the minor leagues, I've watched a lot of Cliff Lee and tried to emulate my mechanics after both of them.
Boy, some very good guys to look at as far as how to become a pitcher, not a thrower. And that's what Scott Diamond really has shown the Twins, especially this year. Last year he came up, he was kind of overwhelmed, I think, at the major league level. You know, he started the season down in AAA. Once he got called up in early May, he has been the Twins' best starting pitcher.
The comparisons to Cliff Lee have been numerous. I think we mentioned just his delivery. Not saying he's going to, make $25 million a year or be the pitcher that Cliff Lee has become. But
Diamond would like that.
I'm sure he would. But like Lee, remember a few years ago, the Indians had him. They had a really good team, and Lee developed in the minor leagues. And he needed that time in the minor leagues. Now, just think of Diamond. A year ago, he was 4-14 in AAA. Hardly numbers worthy of a call-up, but the Twins, had so many injuries and had so many holes to fill. They called him up. He got some experience. And then that start of the year this year, April and early May, where he was back down in the minor leagues, may have gone a long way towards his development as a major league pitcher. Chopper to short. Dozier has it. Over to Morneau. 11 up and 11 down.
Well, one thing Scott Diamond does is we come up to the booth and we want to say hello to Robert Hansen, his sister Renee. Robert moved to Arizona. You say you're the #1 Twins fan in Arizona. Thank you very much for supporting the Twins over the years. Good to have you both up in the booth here today. Enjoy the game from a beautiful view.
11 up, 11 down for Scott Diamond. Here's Jason Kipnis. Hit a fly ball to left his first time up. And a fastball, strike one.
One thing that impressed me about Scott Diamond when I sat down and had the interview with him is that he said, this winter I really looked at a lot of video. I tried to make myself better. How could I become a better pitcher? Not only physically, but mentally. And boy, has he turned himself into a very consistent starter.
11 pitches this inning, 4 1-2-3 innings on just 43 pitches. think the Twins will be active participants as the trade deadline nears?
I think Terry Ryan is already, he's getting a lot of phone calls. It's whether if he wants to pull the plug or not on I think, the guys that and names have been mentioned. It's always a fun time, I would think, as a general manager when you're at this time of the year. Clubs are calling, which Terry in our pregame said, that's good. I mean, at least clubs are calling about my players,
right.
But what does he want in return?
And I guess the pivotal issue is if you've decided you're going to move some players, when do you pull the trigger? Is it best, and I have no idea where Terry's sentiments are, obviously, but is it best if you're him and you want to move a player or two to hold your cards until the 31st? Is that going to make the market even better? Does the market change now that Greinke's been traded from the Brewers to the Angels? Certainly it takes the number one pitching name off the trade market. Dozier lifts a pop-up right side of the infield. Kipnis calls off Carlos Santana, one away. Well, ultimately it'll be Terry Ryan's decision. Here are his thoughts.
When you're 15 games out or wherever we're at in the standings, which is pretty deep in a division, I think you've got to at least take into consideration what another team's thinking about. And you've got to field the calls. I wouldn't be doing a job if I didn't do what I'm supposed to up there and at least entertain. I'm not saying that many of them get too far, because some clubs are more serious than others. And we're just not going to give people away because we're where we're at in the standings. I think that's got to be stated as well. People get disappointed in us not making moves, but you've got to realize what's coming from the other phone. Sometimes they just think you want to get rid of people. That's not the case.
Carroll bounces out to short, 2 down.
See, and these are all of the things that a general manager and or whoever, he confines in, Ron Gardenhire, his staff, they all have to take that into consideration.
And in advance of the period we're at right now, you just know that the Twin scouts have been very busy scouting the even lower level minor league prospects for probably the other 29 clubs, trying to get a handle for who might, as Casilla driving a base hit to center field with 2 out, who might fit in to have an impact with the Twins should a trade happen. That the Twins were able to do such a good job, the greatest example, the A.J. Pierzynski trade, to get a starting pitcher in Bonzer, an all-star closer in Nathan, and the guy who perhaps was on his way to a Cy Young Award in 06, Liriano. That's not by accident. There's a lot of legwork and a lot of field work that is done at the lower level of the minor leagues. A 2-out single for Casilla, and here's Span. And now Ron Gardenhire asking about the balk move for Tomlin.
Yeah, it looked like Tomlin's spikes maybe got stuck a little bit as he threw over to first. Now Casilla, 11 stolen bases in 12 attempts with 2 outs here. Let's see if Casilla tries to steal right here. Again, only 1 stolen base against Tomlin this year and only 3 tries.
Bunt in front of Lopez. Casilla takes a big turn at second. Cabrera alertly scampers to third, and Span has a bunt single to set up Revere.
Yeah, Span getting his second hit of the ball game. A little flare into short left field. This one a perfectly placed bunt. Lopez, the third baseman, playing about even with the bag. So Denard, almost the ultimate of surprise. You can see where Lopez is playing, in on the grass, but toward the shortstop side.
So Revere up with 2 men aboard again. He was up in the first inning, lined out to left with Span aboard, and then he struck out with 2 on and 2 out in the second. Inside, ball 1. There go the runners. And it's a double steal. Tomlin, who has given up just 3 steals in his entire major league career, has just given up a double steal.
You know, I was watching Lopez at third base. He's playing in on the grass. He kind of peeked over his left shoulder and looked at Casilla because Lopez has to play in because of the possible bunt of Ben Revere. And to throw a little bit high, but Casilla got a great jump and gets a stolen base, and Bernard Span gets a stolen base as he moves to second base.
In the dirt, that kicks away, and Casilla can't quite scamper home.
Not a lot of room anyway behind home plate, and Marson does everything he can to block that ball, and the ball just didn't go far enough away. A ball in the dirt, deflected over to Marson's right side, and is able to get it back. Both runners hold.
2-1 to Revere. And now 3-1. First base is open, but Mauer's on deck.
I'll look for a fastball away right here. I do not want to face Mauer with bases loaded. I have to throw a strike right here if I'm Tomlin.
Up the middle. Drop by Kipnis. Revere will reach. And Casilla will score.
Well, I think there's the speed of Ben Revere right there, because Kipnis knew he had to go to his right. He had to try to backhand it, and probably already knowing because of Ben Revere's speed, he's got to hurry his throw.
And Revere's given a base hit and a run batted in.
Yeah, Kipnis knocking it down and probably thinking, how am I going to get it over to first all in one motion? Instead, the ball just knocked down. So Ben Revere gets a big 2-out hit as Casilla makes it a 4-0 ball game.
So 3 singles and a double steal. So far 1 run, all of it with 2 outs in the inning. And here's Mauer. Base hit right field. Span will score. Teams don't run much on Shin-Soo Choo, so Revere pulls up at second. Mauer's second hit, and his first run batted in. 4 straight 2-out singles here in the 4th.
Yeah, Mauer picking up his 46th RBI of the year. Fastball. We saw Joe, go deep into the count in his first 2 at-bats, and here jumps on that first pitch, and Choo getting to that ball very quickly. Revere stops at second.
Pretty good left-handed reliever in his time. Scott Radinsky coming to the mound. He's the pitching coach for the Indians. No activity in the Cleveland bullpen. Manny Acta is on the phone. Nine hits for the Twins. 4 of them in sequence here after the second out. Willingham on a check swing, struck out with 2 men aboard in the first. Lined out to center field in the third. Swing and a miss at a breaking pitch.
Yeah, that hard slider down and away, the same pitch that struck out Willingham in the first inning. Like a good slider, almost like a cutter, but great location.
One strike to Josh Willingham. 2 strikes. Another one that darted down and away.
Yeah, that looked almost like a 2-seamer right there. Good location down. Tomlin making his 5th career start against the Twins. 1 win, 2 losses against the Twins in his 4 starts, career starts. An ERA at almost 6. So the Twins have had some success against Josh Tomlin, as they're having it here tonight.
low, 1-2. And strike throwing hasn't been the issue for Tomlin. Pitch a little bit low. Box Tracks brought to you by Window Concepts of Minnesota. Jeremy Accardo warming up. One and two to Josh Willingham. Just off the outside corner with a fastball.
That's a good take right there by Willingham. Remember in that first inning, he kind of went too far on a pitch outer half of the plate. Everything pretty much away to Willingham so far in his first 3 at-bats.
Two and two.
Marson sitting away again.
There it goes. He mashes a 3-run home run. And the Twins have 2 3-run jolts in the early innings against Josh Tomlin.
Twins open this ball game up with 5 runs here in the bottom of the 4th inning, thanks to Josh Willingham's 26th home run of the year. He now has driven in 75 runs. That slider not where Marson wanted it, but it's where Willingham liked it. Wow.
5 runs after the first 2 outs came easily. Casilla got a 2-out single. Span a bunt single. Revere an infield hit. Mauer an RBI hit. And a bomb by Willingham. And Tomlin with 8 earned runs allowed.
That home run measured at 416 feet.
Now Morneau hits one on a few hops to the shortstop Cabrera. That ends the inning. The 3rd out, separated from the 2nd out by 5 hits and 5 runs.
Minnesota State Lottery Winner's Circle, 100 scratch-off tickets available. When you make a sign this good, you have to win. Melinda and Christina, all the way from Benson, a great city. And ladies, obviously, I talked to you earlier during that Twins at Bat. You guys will buy scratch-offs and watch the ball game. Today, the scratch-offs are coming to you, and you got an 8-0 lead. How much fun is this?
It's awesome. Amazing. Awesome. Cannot have asked for more.
Guys, they are loving it. They're loving Scott Diamond. They're loving the 8 runs. They're going to be loving 100 scratch-off tickets from the Minnesota State Lottery. We got nothing but love for you right here.
Love all around. You are here by Circle. I missed my Circle machine.
Yeah?
I saw you guys trying to circle people. You guys were terrible.
Now, how am I supposed to take this?
Take it the way I meant it.
The
you
circle
guys were
machine
terrible.
is an inanimate object. You miss that. You say nothing about missing.
I miss
me
you.
And the people you work with here at
Jim
home.
Pellinger, no, not at all.
Here's Michael Brantley. Carlos Santana, Travis Hafner. The Indians haven't had a base runner yet. And Diamond misses outside, 1-1.
Well, as a pitcher, Diamond is retired the first 12 batters. You still think it's a nothing ball game out there. That's what he's trying to do right here. Get one out at a time. And he's done a great job so far.
2-1. Give you some idea of the struggles the Indians have against left-handed pitchers. Here's Brantley, a left-handed batter, and he does okay against left-handed pitching. 2-1. High fly to right field. Revere going back on the track for the catch. Just missed the overhang. A deep fly ball for the first out of the fifth. And that'll bring up Santana. Brantley with only 4 home runs hitting cleanup in this Indian lineup. And yeah, Scott Diamond about the only thing that's gone right in the Twins rotation.
Well, you can see Diamond 8-4 looking for his 9th win. The rest of the staff combined 16-42, the high ERA. And yeah, Scott Diamond has been a diamond in the rough.
Carlos Santana has been Cleveland's best hitter for the last week and a half. Diamond got him looking in the 2nd inning. Diamond has 3 strikeouts. They came consecutively at the end of the 2nd, start of the 3rd inning. Routine grounder to Casilla from the outfield grass, out number 2. He's gotten 14 outs on just 47 pitches so far. Get an inside look at the Wild on Becoming Wild, Chapter 2, every Tuesday and Thursday on FoxSportsNorth.com. See exclusive footage of the day in the life for the Wild organization. On the latest webisode, GM Chuck Fletcher breaks down a very successful 2012 development. Log on to FoxSportsNorth.com for Becoming Wild, Chapter 2. 2 quick outs here in the 5th, and that'll bring up Hafner, called out on strikes his first time up. Diamond fell behind Hafner 3-0, and then 3 pitches later, Hafner struck out. Here's a little flare to center, and it's the first Cleveland hit. First base runner for Cleveland. With Scott Diamond retiring the first 14 batters.
You know what, good baseball fans here in Minnesota, a lot of them getting on their feet right here because Scott Diamond took that perfect game into the 5th inning and getting a little bit of applause right there. That's what you like to see because we haven't seen a lot of that from the starting staff this year. Pretty good pitch right here. Hafner swinging at that first fastball. Great location. You have to tip your hat. Hafner hit a pretty good pitch.
Here's Jose Lopez. Swing and a miss.
Well, Diamond doing a good job. 16 batters now, 12 first pitch strikes.
Missing inside 1-1. I mentioned the Detroit series, and the Indians took 2 out of 3. It wasn't just that series. This is a Cleveland team that is 7-2 against Detroit. And if you believe, like I think most of us do, that the Tigers are the best team in the division, the Indians have thumped them pretty good.
And they've beaten Justin Verlander a couple of times. Beat him yesterday. Verlander was going along very nicely and then gave up that 4th spot late in the ballgame.
And the Indians are 12-5 against the American League West. Well, right now might be the best division in baseball. Twins are just 8-16 against those teams. 1-2 to Lopez. And now another base hit the other way. Lopez drives a single to right. And the Indians, who saw the Twins put together a 5-run inning after the 2nd out, get a couple of hits here in the 5th.
Yeah, now a good pitch, good hitting right there by Lopez because the fastball looked, it was up, and Lopez just took it to right field. Take a look at the pitch.
But again, look where it's
down
on the frame of the strike zone.
Right.
It's not down the middle. Here's Shelley Duncan. Bouncer to short his first time up. Didn't mean to, and a dribbler foul. Strike 1. Tom Wiedenbauer, the first base coach for the Indians.
It was great during the All-Star game to see Dave Duncan, the father of Shelley Duncan, at the All-Star game along with Tony La Russa. Dave Duncan taking a leave of absence to be with his wife that's ill. My pitching coach back in Cleveland, Dave Duncan.
He's not that old.
Yeah, quite so.
Really? 2 strikes. Diamond, even though he's given up a couple of 2-out hits here in the 5th, has only thrown 55 pitches as he hopes to wrap up the 5th inning. He's just wrapped up the 5th inning. His 4th strikeout of the game. He's given up a couple of hits now, but he's got 5 shutout innings and it's 2-0 lead.
Information come to you from the bench, Roy?
That was always in my career. That was something that I did. It didn't come from the bench. I didn't have the best range in the world. I had to study the charts. I studied where every hitter on the opposing team hit my particular pitcher that day and what pitches they hit where on the infield that I would need to play. And it was very important that I positioned myself right. I led the league in put-outs, assists, and double plays 3 years in a row. And believe me, it wasn't because I was fast.
Fans, keep the questions coming on Twitter. Hashtag Ask Smalley. Dick and Bert.
See, that's the homework that everyday players do. They know their pitcher on the mound. You know, if they're going to go inside on a hitter, will that pitcher be able to get that ball inside? So maybe shade him, a little bit toward third base. All those little things come into play. Good job, Roy Smalley.
New Cleveland pitcher Jeremy Accardo coming into the ball game.
Accardo, 30 years old in his first season with the Indians, hard-going right-hander.
Cleveland bullpen's been pretty good this year. One of the reasons they've stayed above the 500 mark. Rough night for Tomlin. Giving up 1 3-run home run can very often decide a ball game, and Tomlin gave up 2 of them. 2-0 to Doman, and now 3-0. A drastic infield shift on for Ryan Doman.
Well, that's where, the scouting report is thinking Doman's going to pull this ball. Where are they going to pitch him? Butch Marson sitting inside the ball right there. This is where you don't really want to throw that 94, 93 mile an hour sinking fastball away, and Doman just dribbles that ball down the third base line.
For a triple to left center field, and that drops for a hit in front of Brantley. Now, have you been practicing your AT&T trivia?
Every night.
We did pretty well without you. I don't mind telling. who was the last Indians player to lead the American League in doubles. Shin-Soo Choo is second.
He has 32 so far on the year.
I think I know who it is. I think he ended up with 50 or more doubles and also hit 50 or more home runs that year. Fouled back by Dozier.
Would it be Mr. Bell?
That's my guess. But we stockpiled so many carryover points on the multiple answer questions while you were gone. I think we're covered pretty much for the rest of the season. Here's Dozier driving on the right, but Choo is there, one away.
What about Grady Sizemore?
Yeah, could be.
I heard you guys. You guys were just throwing out names too, so that's why I threw out Sizemore.
So that's true. We're doing games, even though you're not there. You can be a witness to what we've been talking about.
Yes.
Should have thought about that while you were. Now you showed some pictures from the Hall of Fame. You know, I was relieved to see that it was just those. I thought we were going to get like a full slideshow of, you know, your vacation, your 4 or 5 weeks, 6 weeks, however long it was.
Well, I was going to. They didn't want to put my toenail that I lost.
You in front of the Grand Canyon, things like that. I mean, I was prepared for the worst.
Well, I didn't get a hole in one. Maybe next time I take a vacation.
Did not.
I did.
Okay.
I'll work on that.
2 strikes to Jamie Carroll.
Ricardo first came to the major leagues with the Giants, has also pitched for the Toronto Blue Jays and the Orioles. Signed as a free agent over the winter by the Indians. Started the season down in the minors, called up in early May. Ouch.
Softly hit back to Ricardo. Doman doubled off, and the Twins are done in the 5th. They lead it 8-0. Nothing Twins. You can follow the Twins with MLB.com at Bat 12 for your iPhone, iPad, Android, BlackBerry, or Windows Mobile. Get live audio, pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text at Bat to 31826 or visit twinsbaseball.com for details. Dick Bramer, happy to have Bert Blyleven back in the booth.
And good to be back, especially in an 8-0 Twins lead.
We had games like this all the time while you were gone. One game after another.
I must have been on another channel.
Lou Marson, the number 9 batter, hit a fly ball to right his first time up. And Diamond delivers low, ball 1. Diamond giving up a pair of 2-out singles in the 5th inning. A strike, just his 58th pitch of the evening.
7 in the first, 14 in the second, 11 in the third and fourth, and then 13 the last inning. So that's how you get deep into the ball game. Stay away from the 20-plus pitch inning.
You can understand why the Twins are concerned about the workload for Diamond. Last year in AAA and in the major leagues, 162 innings. And there's a rule in some organizations. I don't believe the Twins have such a hard and fast rule, but you don't want to increase a young pitcher's workload by more than 10 or 15% from one year to the next. Now, I know you're not the best guy to comment on this. Drive to the right field corner and a foul ball. But Diamond in the minor leagues pitched enough innings, 34 2/3 innings, and then you tack on the big league innings. He's approaching now 100 at this level. You can understand why the Twins, especially as well as he's pitched, that they'd be, if they're going to make a mistake, they're going to make a mistake on the conservative side.
I think what you have to look at each individual, as a individual, as far as like Diamond, the ground ball to Dozier right there. Dozier gets the first out. You have to look at the pitcher. Diamond doesn't have a delivery, Dick, that is going to really warrant that he can't pitch 200 innings.
Okay. All right. AT&T trivia question and answer, I think, is Albert Bell.
I'll go with Grady Sizemore.
Very nice. Jump
Ding,
back
ding,
into
ding,
the
ding.
saddle. Attaboy. One gone in the sixth. You surprised yourself, didn't you?
The word is shock.
1-0 to Chew.
No, I mean, you look at Diamond's delivery. Now, if it's somebody that, really has a delivery that maybe lands on his heel or something like that, but this guy has a very solid delivery, allows his back to come through, his arm to come through. There's really no reason he doesn't recoil. This is a guy that right now has pitched, coming into this ballgame, 126 innings. So he's pitched 5 innings, a little over 130 innings so far this year.
1-2.
Now, we looked at this earlier for Scott Diamond. If you're a youngster out there, watch how he gets to this balance point. Gets the knee up and then utilizes that pitching rubber, driving off. But watch his back right there. You see the number disappear. So many times you'll see a pitcher almost stand up and throw it. To me, that puts a lot of pressure on that shoulder area where he comes through over the top, and he's not overstriding. He allows that arm to whip through. Very nice.
A strikeout of Chew for out number 2.
And Diamond picking up his 5th strikeout of the ball game.
Does it make any sense for the layman like me to think of the front leg almost like a shock absorber and your back to fall over the top?
And you want to come over that and allow your arm to be the whip to where it can release toward home plate without recoiling.
2 gone. Here's Cabrera. Well, by my Minnesota high school math, if Diamond completes the 6th inning here, it'll be 97 innings at the big league level, 34 2/3, 133 2/3 innings. Let him go.
I agree.
Well, I'm putting words in your mouth. I'm not. I don't know. I'm just at some point 180, 200 innings. That's
a communication that Rick Anderson and Diamond will have as the season keeps going. This guy, I think, has proven that he belongs here. And if he's pitched 160 innings last year, you figure about 180, 190 this year. He's at 130 now. You average about 5 starts a month, and you average 6 innings. There you go. You can finish the season.
Nice stop by Dozier. 2-hop throw gets him.
And you need great defense.
Dozier with a great play. Diamond back on the beam with a 1-2-3 6th inning. sixth inning. Time now for the Coors Light freeze game.
Yeah, Scott Diamond he's been outstanding here tonight, picking up 5 strikeouts, working both sides of the plate, and getting a very nice defensive play by Dozier to end the top of the 6th inning.
Frostburg Coors Light freeze game, and it's a good thing that we just use game video for our Coors Light 6th inning freeze cam and not between innings video. It's just a real good thing. Alexi Casilla leading off the bottom of the 6th, and he takes strike 1. Casilla started the 5-run 4th inning with a 2-out single to center. 3 more singles followed, and then Willingham hit a 3-run home run.
You know what? Let's go back to the 2nd inning when there are a couple of runners on with nobody out. Casilla unable to lay down that bunt. And I know he was probably frustrated that he didn't advance the runners in that at bat, but he didn't take it into the next at bat with 2 outs. Got that base hit and got the Twins able to get more guys on base, and ended up kind of putting the game away with that 5-run bottom of the 4th.
Ricardo faced just 3 men in the 5th inning. Pitch up high. 2-2. Indians had a good start to their season last year. They faded in the middle months and collapsed at the end of the season last year and finished below 500. They had fallen back to the 500 mark in advance of the Detroit series. The Tigers playing really well, and I think a lot of people thought the Tigers were ready to deliver a knockout punch, but this Cleveland bunch, every time you look at the standings and you think, well, that's probably it for them. They have a good week and they get back in a race.
And that's all Manny Acta wants, get those fans back in that stadium at Progressive Field because of good play. Manny Acta in his 3rd season with the Indians, also managed the Nationals for a couple of seasons. And there's a walk to Casilla, first walk of the ball game for either side.
Tigers move to Toronto, and Miguel Cabrera with an early home run. Prince Fielder followed, but then the Blue Jays came back with 6 runs. Mathis with a drive over the head of, I believe that was Quinton Berry in left field. Here's Span taking up and away, ball 1. Span with a pop fly single in the 1st inning, a bunt single in the 4th. Because you've mentioned it in the past, I got to bring it up. You were okay with Span dropping down a bunt single with 2 out and a man at first?
Oh yeah, in that situation, yes, it was still a close ball game. It's early in the game. I mean, they're going to give it to you. That was a perfectly placed bunt as Lopez was shading, Span a little bit toward the shortstop side.
Indians weren't taken by surprise. Lopez was well in on the grass.
Right. I thought he was even with the bag, but he was in on the grass. And that's part of Span's game. It's part of Revere's game. It's part of guys, that aren't power type hitters. So, if you're a defensive player like Lopez or the pitcher on the mound, you tell your third baseman, take the bunt away from him. Now in an 8-0 ball game, Span, I don't believe, is going to try to bunt. This is the time of the ball game he swings away.
3-1. And now Span walks. The inning begins with a pair of 3 passes. Speed on the bases with Casilla at second, on Span at first. This weekend series against Cleveland is presented by Joanne Fabrics. And it concludes on Sunday with crafting at the ballpark. From 11 to 1 at Target Plaza. You can stop by and craft baseball-themed keychains, pencil toppers, and more. Tickets are available for Sunday's game by calling 833-TWINS or log on to twinsbaseball.com. And Joanne Fabrics wants you to come early and bring your crafting skills,
Now,
of which I have none.
I was going to ask you that. Are you good at anything? No, I mean, do you craft at all?
Well, now that depends on who you ask.
Are you a crafter?
No, and I honestly thought that it'd be nice when the ballpark was built, when we were coming out here and we were going to have rain delays and all that. It would be nice to know how to knit or crochet or do something, and I could spend rain delays crafting something, a blanket, a sweater, something like that. We could auction it off for charity. And but I haven't gone.
Cut our ties again.
No, we did that too, didn't we? There's Revere out on strikes.
A pretty good sinker right there by Accardo, picking up a strikeout. And Revere strikes out for the second time. Did he go too far?
Oh, I don't know. Revere out on strikes. Mauer will come up with 2 men aboard. See, I don't believe you were there in Detroit when we had 3 delays to start the last 3 ball games that totaled almost 6 hours. You weren't part of that, were you?
No, I was not, but I was watching.
I don't believe that for a minute.
Now, I just want to go back and say I'm not a very good crafter either. I'm not very good at that.
But that could, we could knit mittens or something, and then
my mother can do that.
Still?
Yes.
Really? Mauer fouls it back, 2 strikes.
You know what my mother does? She knits outfits for babies when they come up from the hospital, that families that do not have, maybe can afford a nice gift like that. That booty, the hats, the blankets, all that stuff. She still does it. She doesn't want any credit. She just puts Jenny on the label, on the little sweater.
2 strikes to Mauer. 2 hits, 2 runs scored, a run batted in, both hits are singles. Checked his swing and nearly took strike 3 on the corner.
Yeah, good changeup right there, just missing. Pardo, off-speed pitch.
That's a pretty good pitch. Rolled to the right side and through for a hit. Garcia around third. He'll score. Mauer's 3rd hit of the ball game, his 2nd run batted in.
Pretty good pitch right here by Accardo. Looked like he came back with a pitch down, but Joe just got the barrel of the bat out in front and hit that ball between first and second into right field. Well, had some movement right there, but Joe staying on it and pulling that ball. And the Twins take a 9-0 lead.
Here's Willingham. A 3-run home run his last time up. Solidly to left center field. Another run will score, and Mauer will check in at second. So Willingham has driven in 4 tonight.
And Span scoring for the 3rd time in the ball game. Jumping on that first pitch. That 2-seamer came right back into that hitting plane. And Willingham lined it over the head of Cabrera. Brantley gets it back in.
Here's Morneau, who started this lopsided game with a 3-run home run in the 1st inning. Since then, he's singled and bounced to short. Get a game like this and it just comes so easily. Hits come almost at will.
Well, you can see in the Chicago series, not very good in that 3-game series loss to the White Sox, but here tonight, 6 for 11 with a couple 3-run home runs.
Basically, the Twins doing to the Indians tonight what the White Sox did to the Twins in Chicago. 2-0 to Morneau, a very dangerous pitch for Jeremy Accardo. Foul back. Morneau, of course, missed some time in the middle of the road trip because of his new baby boy. hit the ball hard when he got back in the lineup in Chicago, and obviously has hit the ball hard twice here tonight. 3-1.
As that 2-0 pitch was a dangerous pitch, his 3-1 pitch is a dangerous pitch.
Takes ball 4, so they're loaded up now for Doman.
Yeah, third walk of the inning for the Twins.
Cardinals' numbers on the season pretty good, but he has faced 9 men and retired just 3 of them here in his relief outing. And here comes Scott Radinsky. You know, you look at the Indians, and unless they pull off a miraculous comeback, they're going to lose here tonight. And then will drop their record to 50-50. And again, you're reminded of the old adage about just playing 500 baseball.
And you stay in a race, and they're not that far out.
Optum is encouraging Twins fans to bike or walk to Target Field on Sunday when the Twins host Cleveland at 1:10. The first 1,000 bike riders and walkers with tickets will receive a gift bag from Optum. Log on to twinsbaseball.com, find out all the details, and make plans to bike or walk to the ball game. Here's Doman with the bases loaded. He has popped up to short center. In a warning track liner to left and singled in the 5th. It's already 10-0. Up and in, ball 1.
Well, nobody loosening up in the Indian bullpen, so Ricardo, this is his mess to get out of.
To center, down for a hit. Bauer's going to score. Everybody will move up a base, and it's 11-0.
And Doman picking up his second hit, picking up his first RBI.
So the bases are reloaded now for Brian Dozier.
And now we're scoring for the 3rd time in the ball game as Dozier lines this in the center field. And raising your hands, you must have had Joe Mauer for
Joe Mauer picked the stick today.
Well, this is my man right here, Brian Dozier.
1 for 3. One and 0 to Dozier. Carroll will follow, barring a double play ball.
That's my man, Brian Dozier.
Double play ball. Twins
say, you jinxed him. It's your fault. Yes, it's your fault. It had nothing to do with it.
Your questions tonight on Twitter for Roy Smalley from Power Wrap. Deals with the switch hitter, and when do you make that decision, Roy? When is it too late to try to become a switch hitter? How difficult is it?
You know, that's a good question. I started when I was 14. I wish I had started earlier. My dad wanted me to start when I was 10 or 11. Didn't start till I was 14. I think the later you go, the quicker you have to decide whether you have any ability at it or not. It takes a while, and most of us know pretty quickly, I think, if we have any chance at all of becoming a switch hitter. So earlier the better, and probably before high school if you have any designs on playing through high school and into college.
Good stuff as always, Roy. Thanks again, fans, for all your input tonight. We'll do it again. Right now, though, it's time for Dick and Bert.
Well, thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Roy, for that. I tweeted after Ryan Doman hit a home run from each side of the plate the other day. The first pitch roller to second. Kipnis very quickly retired. Going down, Brantley coming to the plate. Time now for the CenturyLink high-speed pitch.
Yeah, Tomlin, who went only 4 innings, gave up 10 hits, 8 runs, clocked as high as 92. And Scott Diamond, he has been outstanding at 91.
Tweeted the other day after Doman hit a home run from each side of the plate. If hitting a baseball is the most difficult thing to do in sports, and it's commonly said, I can't imagine the difficulty, the complexity of being a switch hitter and hitting with power from both sides of the plate like Doman can, or Mickey Mantle, Eddie Murray, the greatest power
Chili
hitter.
Davis.
Chili Davis, right. I mean, I can't imagine that.
Did you ever try switch hitting? I know, as a kid, I think we all tried it. But like Roy said, at 14, he must have felt as comfortable, from the left side as he did the right.
Yeah, but see, most guys who, like in Roy's case, I'm sure he felt he was accomplished enough on one side to carry it over to the other. I tried it just out of desperation. I couldn't hit from the right side. Casilla with a great stop, throws him out. What a play! Oh, what a magnificent play by Alexi Casilla.
Well, Casilla had to go a long way to his left to get this ball, but it's how he got there as far as bouncing up and getting that ball over the Morneau. Now, Brantley getting down that line very quickly, but Casilla, you can see, had to put a little extra on it right there. Great defensive play by the middle infielder so far in this ballgame. Dozier, last inning to end the 6th, and here Casilla makes an outstanding play.
Down low, ball 1 to Carlos Santana.
Boy, and if you're a pitcher too, I mean, you tip your hat to your defensive players when they make plays like that.
It's said so often it sounds like a cliche, but it's true. Here's Diamond around the plate. He gets ahead of hitters. He works quickly. He keeps everybody engaged in the game. And you do almost expect better plays made behind a pitcher like that than someone who dawdles out on the mound.
Well, because every pitch is going to be hopefully put into play, and it could be hit at you rather than ball 1, ball 2, ball 3. You end up playing on your heels.
Routine fly ball to right. 7 pitches in a 1-2-3 7th inning. And a great play made by Alexi Casilla. freshly brewed cup of premium roast coffee from McDonald's. Any size is just $1. And by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T. Rethink possible. Quite a night for the Twins. Quite a night for Scott Diamond. 11 runs of support. He's given up just 2 hits. Hasn't walked anybody. He's had a magnificent night here. It's just been a fun night and a great way to get this homestand started.
Yeah, both hits off of Diamond came in the 5th inning with 2 outs. A pretty good pitch to Travis Hafner. He jumped on that first fastball, hit a soft line drive into center field, and then Lopez followed with a base hit to right field. Well, here's Cody Allen making just his 4th Major League debut. His 4th Major League appearance, just 23 years old. Signed by the Indians just last year. Out of High Point College in North Carolina. Young man with a fastball, hard curveball, and a changeup.
Pitch is up to Jamie Carroll. Down and away a ball, 2-0. Hard thrower, but the early numbers would suggest a hard time throwing strikes on a consistent basis. Sharp single to center. Fell behind Carroll, 2-0. And Carroll blisters one up the middle. Leadoff hit here in the 7th. And that'll bring up Alexi Casilla. The Minnesota Vikings began training camp today in Mankato. Ryan Hall was there. You can read his coverage at foxsportsnorth.com. The largest, most gluttonous meal I've ever had was years ago covering the Vikings' first day of training camp down in Mankato.
They eat pretty good there?
Well, the media was sent through the same line that the players went through. The difference is the players went through 4 hours of outdoor workouts and burned up about 7,000 calories. And those of us in the media we might have burned up 70 calories. But we ate the steak and the lobster and the baked potato and the butter and all that. I don't know if they do that anymore. Brent Lillibridge, we saw him with the White Sox. Very briefly member of the Red Sox. Johnny Damon in left, Duncan over in right, with Shin-Soo Choo getting a break for the balance of this night. Two strikes to Casilla. Toronto beat Detroit 8-3. Outside 1-2. Rick Porcello couldn't hold an early lead. White Sox still leading Texas 5-4, top of the 6th. Yankees bludgeoned the Red Sox 10-3. A critical game tomorrow for the Red Sox, who can ill afford to fall any farther behind the Yankees. John Lester has really been struggling. Will go against CC Sabathia.
Well, Josh Beckett too has been.
Yes,
he has not been sharp.
1-2. 2-2. Anibal Sanchez will make his Tiger debut tomorrow. It's the East standings, and the Red Sox now 2 games below the 500 mark and in last place in their division. Casilla, it's jammed and he hits a little pop-up to Lopez, 1 away. And that'll bring up Denard Span. You know, this addition of a second wild card team has helped make things interesting in late July for teams that might otherwise not hold much interest, and that's only going to mushroom as we get through August and September. But to me, the best thing that the extra wild card team format has done is it really discourages teams. Span twisting one to the left field corner into the seats. Discouraging teams for settling for the wild card, because now you've got that one game, a suicide game, to advance, and no team, I mean, as it was, the wild card team was almost on equal footing with the division champion. You just didn't have as many home games. Here's the wild card standings, and as we said, right now the A's would be in and the Tigers would be out. But if there's a division title to be had, you're not going to want to settle for the wild card.
No,
because
not at all.
And I'm not saying that was the case, but there's going to be a huge advantage for the division leader over either of the wild card teams.
I think when Major League Baseball under Bud Selig came up with this wild card, the second wild card, it kind of, I think, intrigued everybody, but nobody knew how it was going to work out. Right. I think as the summer has gone on, there's a lot of excitement about that additional team going to postseason.
2 strikes to Span. And now a ball.
Nice play by Marson right there, short hopping that throw home.
Camden Yards, a big game in the wild card standings with Oakland leading Baltimore 8-6.
I mean, here we are at the end of July talking about already, the wild card. That's pretty good. And that's why a lot of clubs are looking at this 2 or 3 days yet until the trading deadline without having to go through waivers of how can we improve our ball club to hopefully get into postseason.
And I think when the new format was announced, a lot of people thought, well, okay, that'll be a nice break for the teams from the American League East, because they beat up on each other. The Yankees are going to win the division, and the Red Sox and the Rays and maybe the Orioles and the Blue Jays and all that. Hey, right now, the division champion out of the East would be the only entrant in the American League playoffs. Right. It would be the American League West, that would have the 2 wild cards. 2-2 to Span. And now a full count. Revere on deck. And Span ends up drawing a walk. First and second.
Second straight walk Span has taken. Fastball. And Allen's kind of been all over the place. It's hard for an umpire behind home plate to give him that pitch, even though it did look a little inside.
Fox Tracks was brought to you by Carrier. Twins have had a base runner on in every inning. Some crooked numbers, a couple of 3s and 5 up there. Revere has driven in 1 and scored 1. Ball sails outside.
Allen really finding his control. I mentioned Allen, 23 years old, signed by the Indians, the 23rd round draft pick. Just last year. Made it up to the big leagues very quickly. Started the season in Single A.
And therein lies a lot of hope for anybody who's a professional baseball player, and maybe even more so to those who have been at one level for a long time. If you can find it, if you can get it together, the ladder to the big leagues isn't as steep, I don't think, as it used to be. If you can pitch, if you're healthy, you can get guys out, you might get a shot. Sharply hit on the ground. Cabrera to Kipnis, and Santana digs out a low throw. And Revere, of all people, bounces into a double play.
Two big three-run home runs by the Twins. The first by Justin Morneau in the first inning. Twins took a 3-0 lead. And then Josh Willingham in a 5-run fourth inning, hitting his 26th home run of the year. A big 3-run home run. And Scott Diamond, he has been outstanding. Only 2 hits allowed, both of them coming back-to-back in the 5th inning. He is now working into the 8th inning with only 78 pitches thrown.
Morneau, a no-doubter into the Plaza area. And Willingham doing it again. You know, so much has been made about Willingham's first year with the Twins. And even Trevor Plouffe, who was put on the disabled list today, they're hitting home runs here because they're pulling the ball. And we've seen more balls hit to the bullpen area by Willingham and Plouffe. That's not a pull shot. That's almost a center field shot out there. And Willingham and Plouffe have hit more there this year than we've seen in the first 2 years of this ballpark.
It's only because the cement has dried here at Target Field. But all in all, you know, Willingham has hit 10 home runs in the month of July, as Trevor Plouffe hit 11 in the month of June.
Yeah. Here's Travis Hafner. Ball 1 in the dirt. Diamond had a perfect game going with 2 outs in the 5th. Hafner hit a pitch down and away and chipped it into left center for a single. Then Lopez hit a pitch down and away and grounded a single to right. And again, going back to what Diamond was telling me after his start in Kansas City, he felt like he was hitting his spots, but he just kept giving up hits on good pitches. And now the 2 hits today. I bet you if you ask Scott Diamond after the game today, what about the 2 hits? He'd say, well, you know what? I threw the ball right where I wanted to throw it in each case. But the guy put a good swing on it, and a good hitter got a hit. Off of Diamond. And Hafner gets an infield hit.
Well, we'll see where this got a piece of Scott Diamond. Hafner got a fastball and hit that ground ball right back at Diamond very sharply. And the way he went after the ball looked like he was hurting a little bit. And Hafner, not the quickest out of line, down that line, ends up beating it out. So right off of Diamond, maybe hit the heel of his glove or his right hand. Take another look.
Diamond several times has shown that the ball hit the side of his glove. And that's very fortunate. That could have been, if it hit him anywhere, was it so sharply? That could have been a serious injury.
Yeah, it looked like it hit his glove and then off his thigh area and then deflected away. But Hafner gets his second hit, and not too many times you get to write down an infield base hit for Travis Hafner.
Here's Lopez. So Hafner has 2 hits. Lopez has the other. No walks.
He's only had 1 3-ball count in this ball game.
That's pulled foul.
And that's what I like about Diamond. What I've seen here tonight is, you know, if he misses with one pitch, he comes right back and throws a strike on the next pitch.
Now, I was thinking about that during the Chicago series. The White Sox have had some pitching issues. Floyd's been hurt and ineffective. John Danks has been hurt. They've been patching their rotation together. But the one thing they've had, actually they've gotten it from Chris Sale too. But Jake Peavy has pitched so deeply into ball games with sometimes an elevated pitch count, but he's eaten up innings, and that has saved the Chicago bullpen. And Diamond on the verge of maybe pitching an awfully deep and good ball game here tonight. The Twins haven't had that on a consistent basis. Diamond, as good as he's been, you know, it's been 6 or 7 innings, not 8 or 9.
Yeah, he's gone 8 innings a couple times, and he's got a chance here tonight to maybe go a complete game. Got to get through this inning first and keep that pitch count down. Now at 84 pitches.
Twins have one 9-inning complete game. P.J. Walters went the distance against the White Sox. Walters on the disabled list.
Yeah, I talked to PJ this afternoon. He said he's starting to feel better. It started in the back. Now it's in the front of his shoulder that's bothering him. Not always a good sign. Carl Pavano headed down to Fort Myers, Florida, get some work in down there.
One and two to Lopez and a drive to left. Retreating is Willingham. Leaps and makes the catch. One away. Pretty well hit ball. Lopez was putting the barrel of the bat on every swing on a Diamond offering. He finally put one in fair territory, caught by Willingham.
And a nice play by Willingham because he got it kind of turned around a little bit. Ball left up, and Lopez, you can see Willingham kind of backpedaling right there, but keeping his eye on the ball. As he knows he's near that fence, he leaps up and then picking up the fence after the ball got into his glove. So nice defensive catch right there by Willingham.
Shelley Duncan, the batter. Half swing, strike one. Full swing and a miss.
Yeah, that's that changeup right there, straight over the top. He does a great job again getting that arm out front. Looks like a fastball, and then the bottom just drops out of it right there. Great pitch, great location.
Oh, and 2 to Duncan. Wow. Just carved him up.
We both said at the same time, wow. Strikeout number 6 for Diamond, getting Duncan for the second time in a ball game.
You don't say it very often. His best swing was the check swing.
That's almost a Frank Viola type, changeup right there. Looks like a fastball, and then the bottom just dropping out of it.
2 down, and here's Lou Marson. Fly ball to right, ground ball to short. Ball 1.
It's the pitches per inning that you look at. I mean, 15 in the 6th is the most he has needed to retire the Indians. That's how you get deep into the ball game.
Dozier, nice play to Casilla to end the inning.
And some great defensive plays behind him.
Dozier made one earlier. Casilla made one earlier. Now they combine for one in the 8th.
double-digit runs. Josh Willingham continues to climb the charts. He has his 26th home run of the season. We'll also take you inside the clubhouse and hear from the manager, Ron Gardner, get his thoughts on a brilliant performance by Scott Diamond, and more thoughts on the injury of Trevor Plouffe and the return of Danny Valencia. That's after the ball game. Right now, Dick and Bert.
Well, thank you very much, Kevin. We'll look forward to that. There have been many easy wins for that man.
Well, you take it and you appreciate it, and you know that there's better things to come, hopefully, for the team. When you get good pitching and timely hitting. Sounds simple, doesn't it?
Well, we've talked about this before. When it happens, it does look simple. You know, you get a 3-run home run or 2, and you got a pitcher who throws it around the plate. You get good plays in the field. 1-0 to Mauer. How much of a perfectionist were you on the mound? In other words, Diamond's got a good thing going here, and he'll look back at this game, I'm sure, and he'll wonder maybe about the 2 or 3 hits or whatever the Indians got against him, and he'll analyze maybe pitch by pitch. You know, how did he execute this pitch, and in this count, how did he handle that at bat? Were you that way?
Yeah, I was. I thought I should have pitched a no-hitter every time I went out there. You know, that's a mindset set you have to have, but you know, you want to get deep into the ball game, and Diamond's been able to do that. He's had 91 pitches, 61 for strikes, and he's ready to go out there and hopefully complete his first major league game, and maybe it'll be a shutout.
Liner to left. Damon with the catch, 1 away. The next Crystal Farms Kids Day is Sunday when the Twins host the Indians. You can get to the game early for Kids Day autographs and free string cheese, courtesy of Crystal Farms. After the game, kids can run the bases. Presented by Gillette Children's Hospital. Tickets and more details available on Sunday's Crystal Farms Kids Day at twinsbaseball.com or 800-33-TWINS.
Great promotion.
Here's Josh Willingham. And a fastball on the outside corner. You know, you were talking before, I think, after one of Roy Smalley's Twitter questions that he answered about positioning, and you know, all that information is available now with every game televised, every game recorded. Diamond, if he wants to, he can look at every at bat, and the hitters, of course, can do it too, and look at what he threw, where he threw it, in every count. I mean, that technology that's available to the fan is available tenfold to the players.
Yeah, you know what? To be honest with you, I was not a video guy. I was more of the feel out on the mound. I knew if I hung a breaking ball, I didn't have to look at the video to know where that pitch was going to go. I was more of a feel at the moment type guy. I didn't really want to look. There, even in the 87 and 79 World Series, I think I've watched Game 2 of the 79 World Series once. And I thought, even though I pitched well, I didn't have very good stuff. So nobody's your worst critic than yourself.
2 down on the Twins' 8th before Morneau comes to the plate. In-game box score showing that every player for the Twins has at least 1 hit. Bauer's driven in a couple, scored 3.
Boy, isn't that nice to see right there? Everybody contributing. A couple 3-run home runs, but all in all, the Twins with 15 hits, 11 runs on the board.
Here's Morneau. And the Indians shift him even in an 11-0 ball game, and he pounds it foul. Infield swung over, outfield pretty much straight away. White Sox leading Texas now 6-4. Top of the 7th inning. Orioles have tied up the A's at 8. And a game that might interest some Twins fans. Take a look at pitch just outside. Twins hoping to catch and pass Kansas City. And the Mariners have 3 first-inning runs against Jeremy Guthrie. It's not much, and it's not going to make headlines, but if the Twins can pass the Royals, at least they won't be looking up at 4 teams. They'll only be looking up at 3.
Well, that's one thing you really don't want to hang your hat on.
Fourth place?
No.
3-1. That's to left field. Damon chasing after it, and he gets there. And it's a 1-2-3 bottom of the 8th inning. Scott Diamond will head out there hoping to pick up the second Twins 9-inning complete game. Farmers Insurance report card, straight A's for Scott Diamond.
I'd say an A+ right there. Not only for Scott Diamond, for the Twins offense tonight, also their defense. We have seen some very nice defensive plays made behind Scott Diamond here, especially the last 3 innings. A couple by Dozier, one by Casilla. Willingham made a nice catch against the wall off the bat of Lopez.
Johnny Damon gets an at-bat, his first, after coming into the ball game a few innings ago to replace Shin Soo Choo in the batting order. And now 2 strikes.
Well, Diamond right now at 93 pitches, and about 60% have been fastballs, as you see. Almost 60% fastballs, breaking balls, off-speed pitches, so mixing in all his pitches and throwing strikes. The off-speed would change up.
That's to center, hit it span for the first out. Some good middle infield defense for Scott Diamond tonight.
Yeah, ending the 6th inning, it was Brian Dozier that made a nice play. A nice play by Justin over there, getting that short hop to end the 6th inning. And then Alexi Casilla in the 7th inning off the bat of Michael Brantley. Looked like a base hit, but Casilla made a great play to retire Brantley. And then Dozier to end last inning, a nice backhanded play, getting the final out. I want to say happy birthday to Stan Dickman before we end this ball game here.
Dozier with another nice pick. Morneau with the one-hop scoop, 2 down. Brent Lillibridge has a hit taken away by Brian Dozier.
Yeah, this is about the 3rd time I've seen Diamond turn around and smile at his defense. They're catching everything and making great plays. And another nice little play by Dozier. And a nice play by Justin over there, picking it to get Lillibridge out at first.
The only other complete game victory for a Twin starter was P.J. Walters. The White Sox got a couple of runs. The Twins haven't had a shutout this year.
Last shutout was Carl Pavano in the last game of the year last year when he beat Kansas City 1-0.
1-1.
And that kept the Twins from losing 100 ball games. But Diamond making his 22nd Major League start, looking for his first complete game, and can it be a shutout?
Fly ball, left field. On 98 pitches, Scott Diamond pitches a 3-hit shutout.
His first career complete game at the Major League level, his first career shutout. Congratulations, Scott Diamond, as you are Jimmy John's delivery of the game. Outstanding performance. Only 3 hits allowed, all singles.
And Diamond in control all night long. Josh Willingham presenting him with the baseball, of something I'm sure he'll treasure, going the distance and setting the tone the Twins hope for the balance of this homestand. And Twins Live presented by CenturyLink. A lot of run scoring for the Twins. We'll show you some American League Central highlights and get some sound from the clubhouse. Anthony LaPanta, a wonderful night and a great way to start this homestand.
It's amazing what a great start can do for a ball club coming off of a sweep in Chicago. Minnesota opens the homestand with an 11-0 win. We'll show you how the bats got it going, how Josh Willingham compares to some of the all-time Twins greats. Next on Twins Live.